Hey everyone, welcome back to WhatsYourGame. So I want to talk about the upcoming Final Fantasy mobile games being the First Soldier and Ever Crisis, with the First Soldier being released sometime this year and Ever Crisis in 2022. Now my initial reaction after watching the First Soldier trailer in particular was, who the hell are these guys and where the hell is Sephiroth? Because as we all know, and spoiler alert ahead for those of you that don't, Sephiroth is the First Soldier. Now, according to a recent interview with Square Enix, this game is going to have some important plot elements relating to the Final Fantasy VII story, which is understandable. However, my issue with the game at this point is that it's set 30 years before the events of Final Fantasy VII, which I believe is 3 years prior to Sephiroth being born. Which is a little misleading to have a game titled The First Soldier, when the First Soldier hasn't even been born yet. Anyway, the trailer also mentions something along the lines of, will you become history's first soldier? Which again we know is false information. However, because Square Enix have said that this game is catered towards casuals as well as die-hard fans, I am guessing that the Sephiroth being the first soldier plot twist is catered towards the casuals rather than us original Final Fantasy VII players. Also, if I had to guess where this story was going, it's probably going to be similar to the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross mobile game that tied into Kingdom Hearts 3, where players' Union Cross characters help during the Keyblade Graveyard battle. In the case of the First Soldier, the game is meant to have you believe that you can become the First Soldier, but you never actually do. Instead, your created character ends up becoming one of the many failed Genova experiments that we see in the original Final Fantasy VII game, which we may see in Remake Part 2, possibly in a container at the Nibelheim reactor, which would add to the shock value for newcomers and original players alike, but at the same time, I don't think this Battle Royale mobile game is necessary to tell that part of the story. That's just Square Enix being extra in my opinion. Anyway, I am eager to find out where they take this part of the story either way. Also, they mentioned that the First Soldier will be on the Ever Crisis compilation game, which is probably where we'll get most of Sephiroth's backstory via an episodic monthly release, possibly leading up to the release of Remake Part 2. However, I am a bit bummed out that such a legendary character's backstory has been succumbed to a lousy mobile game, rather than him having his own big AAA game. I do find that a little disrespectful to say the least. However, I won't rant too much because the trailers aren't much to go by anyway, and only time will tell if these stories actually make sense and if they work. And as much as I do trust Square Enix not to mess this up, it's not a guarantee that they won't. I mean, it can't be as bad as Dirge at Cerberus, right? Anyway, what do you guys think the First Soldier will entail? And do you, like me, believe our created Avatar Soldier candidates will become the failed Genova experiments that we see in Nibelheim? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video enough to like and or subscribe, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching.